Good afternoon. So I have had a pretty busy week and not really been on. I don't think I've even logged in to any of my accounts in the last couple days. But I have an opportunity to do so now. Probably not a lot, probably not for a long time, but I do have the opportunity to get some stuff done at least. And since I discovered I had the time, I thought, well, let's get a little something done because you know I'm looking forward to getting it done, and it had been a couple days since I'd done anything at all. So here we go. When we left off, we had just entered Jahai Bluffs. I would like to make some progress on this evening. Probably not a lot because I'd also like to do, maybe either a couple dungeons or a couple fractals, or we might check what meta events are going on or see what's going on. What would be great is to make some progress on the End of Dragons thing, but that'll really be dependent on what's happening at that time. In the meantime, we do have interesting stuff. I like this map, as I mentioned last time. I think it's a really cool map in a lot of ways. I don't dislike the story chapter. There are some things about it that are very ArenaNet, but they're, ArenaNet's going to do ArenaNet things. So there's no point in getting like super worked up about that. This is one of the really fun things that does happen on this map, and I remember the first time I saw this, I was really entertained. Like, I was really intrigued by it. Maybe we chalk up what's happening here solely to the hallucinatory. Is that a word? I feel pretty good about it being a word. Nature of the mushrooms. Now that I hate. So I'm mostly okay with like most of this, and I love the jungle thing up here, and I love the ore thing. I'm ambivalent on the mushroom thing. I do loathe the sent recording to everybody you know. Like, so now and this is a specific line. A specific thing that I've griped about so many times because it's very obviously like supposed to be like a jokey reference to like Instagram or Twitter or that kind of concept. And I don't like that. Doesn't belong in Tyria, and I don't think there's any there is no excuse that you can make for ArenaNet where I'm okay with that. It is literally one of the worst lines of dialogue in the entire game, if not the worst. And whoever wrote it needs to be 100% fired if they're still employed by ArenaNet. Unquestionably. Like, I'm not sure, it's not a hot take. Like, it means they're bad at their job, unequivocally. Soldiers who are bad at their jobs don't belong in the military. Narrative writers and dialogue writers who are bad at their jobs should no longer do those jobs.
Stay alert! We've got a Rift Stalker on our tail!
Mother?
The Rift Stalker, Bram! We have to take it down!
So I have a lot to say about that in terms of what it means for the game. Regarding the earlier thing I was talking about consistency and respecting the rules of the world that you created in the first place and so forth. And not all of it is bad, because I've said many times, like, the myths give them incredible opportunities to kind of do whatever they want with the story. And emotionally, in kind of the like, yay, we get to see a fun thing, bringing Air back and Snaff along with her is like a huge win in that capacity. It checks all the blocks for like making players happy, when it comes to like characters that we get a limited opportunity to bring back into play or to bring into play that we otherwise couldn't in the name of Snap, or in the sake of in the case, I'm sorry, of Snap. So it's not by any stretch of the imagination the worst thing they've ever done. But there is a lot of conflict in terms of how they package the Mist, as far as Fractals of the Mist. We rarely see it presented as an afterlife where the people go on living, a continuation of their existence on Tyria. The only other place where we see it like that is in Path of Fire, which does precede this, so maybe they felt at that time like there was precedent. In Path of Fire, when you die and come back, at that time you deal with people who are in the Mist, and essentially it's the afterlife there. However, in that scenario, the opportunities to come back to this realm and influence it in some way appear to be extraordinarily limited, and here they come back in some kind of like ghost form. So, and I talked about this a long time ago with in a video I did, during this playthrough, during 0-0, with where I talk about my Trin being a revenant and her interactions with Scarlet being so unique. We never see anything like that out of Ritlock, in terms like we never see him having an ongoing relationship with Glint. We never see that out of the Revenant. There's nothing about our player character as a Revenant that suggests that happens. But then we do see it out of my Trin.
This way.
So again, the big question of the Revenant thing. So this is really important here, because this is not an echo. This is a continuation of a cognizant, self-aware heir. So I don't, with this meta, this particular part, I don't think. Oh, there's one more that I forgot about. I don't think this is a bad boss. I don't think like the mechanics in play here are problematic. I don't think it's balanced badly. I'm not really concerned about any of that. I don't know if the build up is like worth it or not. Like and in that sense, I don't know if it's one that I would want to do like without some meaningful incentive outside of what the event itself provides. In other words, the loot for this event, I don't know if it's good enough alone to like act as an incentive to do the event. All right, let's wrap it up here. So we did accomplish a tiny bit today, which wasn't on that log, but we did get a little bit of mastery taken care of on our Jackal here. We got the enhanced evasion, so that bumped us up from 72 to 74. Not a bunch there. We did knock out a med event, the New Kanang City med event. So a little bit more advancement here. We're really not that far now from wrapping up what we want to get out of End of Dragons. And we got a mastery point for it too, so that's cool enough. And we advanced the story by one episode, if you will, or one little segment, one instance in Season 4 of Living World. But that's all we advanced because I just didn't have a lot of time on my hands today. So next time, I think the next time I'll be able to do this is almost certainly going to be weekend, because I'm going to be working late tomorrow. And so weekend we'll have a lot of time, and we'll do some more group content, Fractals, and dungeons. We'll probably, this weekend I'll probably knock out the rest of Season 4. What are we on? Chapter 4. Get that all the way done. And then we will head up to the wintry place with the branded crystals and all that good business. Legit forgot what it's called right now. We can find it though. Where are we headed after this? So at some point this weekend we will get to... Wait, where is it? There it is. Thunderhead Peaks. That is where we will go. But not before we finish bunch of high bluffs. So pick it up again on Saturday, and I hope you have a good one.